Might as well cost Magic Johnson and the Lakers because it's showtime. Hey, Neek, did you hear what Barkley said when asked about if he would return to Philly in 1993 after being traded?
No, what'd he say?
He said, "Hey, I can be bought. I'd work for the Klan if they paying." What's up, y'all? We are the HoopStorians. I'm Tony Styles. That is Neek. We are well. I am back better than ever. Neek over here is still trying to catch up, but we're gonna get into this day at NBA history. February 22nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors attempted an NBA record 34 free throws in a 139-121 Warrior victory over St. Louis. Do you think anybody could naturally get nowadays 30 free throw attempts? Like if they're not hunting for fouls like Harden and them used to do?
I was about to say, what do you mean by naturally? But you mean just, just regular fouls? No. Why would you get hacked that many times?
If you that good, you that
Unless you're,
good,
unless,
right?
unless you're like a huge player. Like I could see somebody with the stature of I could see a Giannis getting fouled like that. I could see a Embiid getting fouled like that, a Jokic getting fouled
34
like
though?
that. Huh?
34 though? 30? I
No,
mean,
no,
what do you think?
that's what I was gonna say. I don't see it going that high. I could see them probably getting like 20 fouls in a game though, unfortunately. But I don't see it going much higher than that because that's just ridiculous. At that point, throw the whole team away. Ain't nobody sticking actual defense. They just hacking.
Well, that is this day in NBA history then. Hey, so speaking of Wilt, I kind of want to get into the best players if rings didn't count. And by rings not counting, then I guess that means Finals MVP doesn't count in either two. I have a list of players, and I'd like you to help me kind of whittle it down to the top 10. If there's anybody on the list that, or if there's anybody not on the list that you don't think made it, feel free to add them in. I have LeBron, Wilt, Kareem, Karl Malone, Dirk, Kobe, Shaq, KD, Hakeem, Stockton, Duncan, Garnett, Moses Malone, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, and Julius Irving. Anybody else you want to add? You think we should go to that list?
Let's see. If rings didn't matter, I'd say Baylor.
Okay, we can go with Elgin if you
Um,
want.
let's see who else we can do. Iverson,
You got the numbers on them?
Nash. Um, yeah. Let me see.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let's start adding it up. Let's go with this. Um, Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got about 16 players. You want to add Nash to the mix? That's
Mhm.
17. You want to add Baylor? That's 18. You want to add who else you want to add?
Iverson.
Iverson, there's 19. Okay. Who else you got?
And I said Nash, Iverson, Baylor. Who am I missing? Uh, yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let's dive right into it. Um, let's see. How do we want to do this? This is how I want to do it. Okay. So I got LeBron. He's got
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
40,000.
sorry. I'm sorry. My
Okay.
bad. I'm so sorry. Gervin.
Okay. Gervin, as long as you got the numbers on them, because like I said, I just got
Okay.
the numbers on these guys. So I think LeBron is a lock. He's at 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Only person ever to do it. Four-time MVP. We got him as a lock.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. We have one, and then we'll start ranking them from there. I got Wilt as a lock too. 30,000 points, 20,000 rebounds. Only member of the 30-20K. Four-time MVP. We got him as a lock.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
Okay, what about Kareem? We got Kareem, 38,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, over 3,000 blocks, and he would probably have over 4,000 blocks if they would have kept the stats for the first 5, 6 years of his career. So we got him as a lock? Oh, six-time MVP, set the record in that. Okay,
Yes.
what
Definitely.
about Karl Malone? 36,000 points, 14,000 rebounds, two-time MVP. You got him as a lock?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's four. We got Dirk, 31,000, 11,000 rebounds, MVP. You got him as a lock?
Yes.
Okay, what about Kobe? 33,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, 6,000 assists. MVP lock.
Yes.
Well, we got 6 locks already. We running out of room. What about Shaq? 28,000 points, 13,000 rebounds, 3,000 blocks, and MVP as well.
Yeah, he's a lock.
Okay, what about Durant? 28,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, 4,500 assists, 1,000 blocks, 1,000 steals, and an MVP.
Yeah. I don't know how we
So,
gonna do this, bro.
oh, so we're just gonna have to start knocking them out. Okay, so
All
that's
right.
a lock right there. We got 8 already. What about Hakeem? 26,000 points, 13,000 rebounds, 3,800 blocks, the record for blocks, and MVP as well.
Yeah, see, here's a problem. A lot of the people on your list are also champions too. So even if you take that away, it's like they're already locked just based off the fact that these are not just champions, these are people that led their teams. So that means that they were putting in that work before they even made it to the finals. But proceed, my bad.
So you got him as a lock. What about Stockton? 19,000 points, 15,000 assists, 3,000 steals, all-time leader in 2 categories.
Stockton's one of the best to not make it, which is so crazy because Stockton doesn't have the numbers offensively, but as far as his greatness, yeah, Stockton will be a lock because that was a great assist, man. That was a great defender. You feel me?
Well, I got news for you, bro. We got 10 locks, and we ain't even to Jordan yet.
Yeah, I noticed.
So I'm gonna have to start cutting it down like this. So I'm gonna be the first one
Mhm.
to start cutting it off. Stockton, he's all-time leader in 2 categories. His numbers are great and all that, but he wasn't that great a scorer. He has no MVPs and all that. I'm gonna have to cut Stockton, although he
That
is
worked.
definitely in the mix. So Stockton's gonna be gone. There's 9 already. Okay. While we're on the subject, I'm gonna cut Baylor. I'm gonna cut Gervin. I'm gonna cut Nash as well because even though he has 2 MVPs, none of them have
I have a-
MVPs. What's up?
No, I was gonna say I mean I'm cool with Nash getting cut because I have something else, a different point to bring up with Nash later. So that's fine.
Well, tell me your point now with Nash. Let's just go into it. We're on Nash.
I'm okay with you cutting Nash just because I feel as though Nash is also. I mean, when we think about foreigners, would Nash count?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
That's what I thought. So that's what I'm saying. Like the reason why I'm cool with cutting Nash is because I have him on a completely different list as far as today, whereas one of the best foreign players of all time.
I got you. Um, then I mean we got Duncan at 26,000 points, 15,000 rebounds, 4,000 assists, 3,000 blocks, 1,000 steals, two-time MVP. So he's on there. We have we have Garnett, who's got 26,000 points, 14,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, 2,000 blocks, and 1,800 steals, and an MVP, defensive player. We got Moses Malone. If you factor in his ABA career as well as his NBA, he's got 29,000 points, 17,000 rebounds,
Mm.
MVP as well. Jordan's got 32,000 points, 6,000 uh, 6,000 steals. I'm sorry, 6,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, and 2,000 steals, five-time MVP. You got Bill Russell, 15,000 points, 22,000 rebounds, five-time MVP. Then you got Julius Erving, 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, 2,000 blocks, 2,000 steals, MVP. And that's if you factor in his ABA and NBA. Now I want to know. We'll just go with this. Who would you have Iverson over on these lists?
No one. I mean, Iverson's a personal favorite, but out of those people on that list, these are for the yeah, everybody on that list, unfortunately, is a greater player than Iverson. They may not be better than
Right.
Iverson, but they're greater. So yeah, Iverson can get removed too, unfortunately.
Okay.
Hurts
Cool.
my
We're down.
soul to say.
We're down to 15 players now. We still got to knock 5 off from the top 10, and then we got to rank and organize that as
All
best
right.
as we can. So we got LeBron, Wilt, Kareem, Carl Malone, Dirk, Kobe, Shaq, Durant, Hakeem, Duncan, Garnett, Malone, Jordan, Russell, Irving. Who you gonna knock off? Because I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna have to start knocking off people. If
Irvin.
rank Julius Irving,
Yeah.
okay, we'll knock Julius off if rings don't matter. I'll go ahead and knock him off. The next person I'm gonna go ahead and knock off is I'm gonna knock off three right off the bat. I'm gonna knock off Garnett. I'm gonna knock off Dirk, and I'm gonna knock off Carl Malone. And the reason why I'm going to knock off those three is because all of those threes were never considered the best player in the NBA anytime they played. They never had an argument for it. They never had anything like that. So are we cool on that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna erase. We're gonna erase Garnett. We're gonna erase Dirk. We're gonna erase Carl Malone. Hold on. Let's see where we're at. Now we are down to LeBron, Wilt, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Durant, Hakeem, Duncan, Malone, Jordan, and Russell. I'm gonna knock off Durant next. I think. Who do you think should get go? Because to me, it's
Ooh,
between out of these players, it's between Durant and Bill Russell to me. Who
oh,
would you say?
that's hard. All right, so Durant, Russell, LeBron. Obviously, LeBron's not going nowhere. Mike's not going nowhere. Kobe's left.
Shaq's left, Kareem's left, Hakeem's left, Duncan's left, Moses Malone is left.
It's such a toss up, bro. The reason why it's hard for me to say get rid of Durant though is I feel as though Durant did have a couple seasons where he was the best player in the league.
Oh, I'm not
The rest
saying
of the
that.
time, like,
All these players at some point were considered
yeah,
best, maybe the best, something like that. And that's why now we have to start knocking off who's the best of the best. And like I said, we're at 11 right now. We only need to knock off one more, and it's
that's
hard
fine.
for any of them to make the cut. So, I
Yeah,
mean, you
I
want to go
mean that's
Durant?
fine, huh?
You want to go Durant out of that? I mean, who you want to go with?
I do want to go with Durant, but it's hard for me to pick who to cut, so it's fine. Like I'm 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 okay with who we narrow it down to and picking from that selection. It's just dang,
I mean,
that's
I mean, I
tough.
mean, all of them were tough cuts.
Yeah,
I mean, even if we're going with Iverson,
it's just
who
getting tougher, bro. I know it is just getting tougher and tougher. No, it's cool though. That's cool though. You can cut Durant. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna go with I think if rings don't count, because I think that's the
Mhm.
argument for Bill Russell being in the top 10. I think 15,000 points and 22. He might have 14.5 actually, and I might have rounded that up. But 22,000 rebound. I think the five MVPs though still hold a whole lot of weight. Five times you were considered the
That's
most
a lot of
valuable in the league.
MVP.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
that's
So I mean, do we got any problem with Russell at 10?
no.
No problem with Russell at 10. So then we got LeBron, Wilt. Let's just go with this. Would you have Moses Malone? Here's where I'm thinking it. Would you have Moses Malone with 29,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, an MVP over Jordan?
No.
Okay. What about over Duncan? 26,000 versus 29, 15,000 versus 17. Duncan absolutely smokes him in assists, steals, and blocks. He also has more MVPs. And like I said, Malone's stats are also combined with ABA stats, which, didn't have the talent pool that the NBA had.
Yeah. Would I put him over Timmy? No.
Okay. Would you put him over Hakeem?
No. No.
What about over Shaq?
Jesus. No.
Kobe, Kareem, Wilt, or LeBron?
Nope.
So there we go. We have Moses Malone coming in at ninth on the all-time. We got Russell at 10th, Moses Malone at ninth. So out of the names left, who would you say we got? We got Jordan, Duncan, Hakeem, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem, Wilt, LeBron.
Who should be next?
Yeah, yeah. Who you got coming in? Who you think should come in at eighth?
Dang. Kobe.
I'm thinking that we should
Kobe.
go. So you think Kobe should come in at eighth?
Yeah.
Now you being a big Kobe.
Hey, Mamba,
Well,
that's dope too. I just thought about it. Number 8 coming in at 8. Let's run it. Yeah, Kobe at 8.
there we go. So we got Kobe at eight. Now, being a big Kobe fan, why don't you think Kobe, without, with just numbers, not title being counted, why don't you think he's better than someone like a Duncan or a Hakeem or something like that?
Percentage wise, like even though Kobe is considered a clutch player, Kobe can be forced into some wild shots.
Hmm.
Um, Kobe spent time at the beginning of his career where he's coming behind people like Eddie Jones, and you don't even consider Eddie Jones, you don't even consider him a Hall of Famer at this point, but he was the one that was standing in front of Kobe for a while, and he was doing his thing. Don't get me wrong, but it's like when I take things like that into consideration, it kind of took a while for Kobe to come into his own. Not too long, but it did take him like 3-4 years to come into the Kobe that we started seeing. And then also he had that 3-year run where they were winning, but at the same time he's playing second fiddle to Shaq. And even though they like this, at the same time, there's no mistake about it. That was Shaq's team until he left. It became Kobe's team, but before then it was Shaq. So reasons like that.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest arguments when anybody always says Kobe was on the bench. He should have been playing. He should. I was like, dude, he wasn't better than Eddie Jones.
Not at that time, no. And
No, no,
then
no.
to be honest, he started playing like Eddie Jones. But Kobe was a student. He started playing like everybody he thought was good or better than him. But if you go back, a lot of his game in like 97, 98, it resembled Eddie Jones. Even 96, it resembled Jones.
Yeah, I think Eddie Jones was better than Kobe's first 3 years, and I think you could really make an argument that
He
year that Kobe. You think that year that they first won the title, you can make an argument Eddie Jones was better that
was better
season too.
than. He was better than, in my opinion, when he's playing for Charlotte,
Yeah,
he was better. He was
yeah,
better.
yeah, it was close. So I don't know which was which. But yeah, definitely by the fourth season it was close. But yeah, I think Eddie Jones was better. Eddie Jones was an awesome defensive player. I'm sad that we didn't shout him out on the greatest defensive players. I completely overlooked him. So yeah, we got Kobe coming in at 8. Okay, I think the next collection is somewhere between Shaq, Hakeem, and Duncan. Shaq's got the most points out of all of them. Duncan's got the most rebounds. He's got the most assists. Hakeem's got the record in blocks. Hakeem's got more steals. The only thing Shaq's really got, I really think we got to bring Shaq in at 7th here. Where would you say?
I'm with that. I'm with putting Shaq at 7. For reasons like without the range, you feel me? Shaq is a dominant scorer, but with his size, you feel me? He should be a little higher when it comes to blocks and rebounds than he is, in my opinion. So,
Well, that's one
yeah,
of my
Shaq
biggest arguments. They always argue, he's the most dominant of all time and
physically.
uh physically, but he never could score 30. How are you the most dominant and you never hit 30? You hit 29.7, maybe 29.8 one year too, but you never could get to 30. You got guys like Steph, who's clearly not most dominant, and he's hitting 30. I'll put it this way, your career high is the same as Jerry Stackhouse. And I just never understood why he couldn't get all the way. And they're going to say low ball pace or whatever. Even in the low ball era, there were other people scoring 30 in that era. Iverson was scoring 30. So if Iverson scored 30, you should be able to.
Plus, on top of that, with Shaq though, I think Shaq was one of them people who only cared about producing. I mean, it's hard to say because I'm not in his skin, I'm not in his mind, but the way he came off, it seemed like Shaq was on some, let me give you 25 and 10 a game. And like that was just good for him.
No, no, no. I agree with that. I think he was a poor rebounder for his size as well. I don't know why he couldn't be getting you 15, 20 a game. Nobody, first off, a lot of rebounding has to do with positioning. Nobody's moving him off the block once he's set. So I don't know. I mean, he was a great rebounder if the ball came in his vicinity, but he wasn't Rodman. He didn't go get the ball.
Hmm.
So
And he
so
and he's huge, so it's not like it's easy to get a rebound over him. You feel me? So it's
mhm.
like, what's your excuse? They not moving you in. Most players aren't able to jump higher than what Shaq can reach.
No, I agree with that. So I think out of the next group, I think we got Hakeem and Duncan are the next two. Who would you have, Hakeem or Duncan, and why?
Um, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have Duncan next. I'm gonna have Duncan at 6. The reason why is for reasons like Hakeem at one point, he's get my numbers. He's winning league MVP. He got a league MVP. He's blocking shots left and right. You feel me? He's getting defensive player. Um, things like that. Like I feel as though scoring wise, I feel like he's a better scorer than Duncan.
Definitely had
And
a
it's
better
mainly
career high.
Yeah, and that's mainly because of that lateral movement that he likes bragging about.
I'm hitting with lateral movements. I'm hitting.
That's he
What
hit the
do you
league
say to
with it.
that? What do you say to that? I got nothing for that.
Nothing. You feel me? So it's like
So
Akeem
you
was
think?
a force from rookie year. Not that
Mhm.
Duncan wasn't, but I just feel like Akeem was a bigger force from rookie year than Duncan.
Well,
Just from
I mean, Hakeem is so good that he was picked over Jordan, and nobody knocks him for it,
right, right.
like at all. So, I mean, I'm cool with that. So Duncan coming in sixth, we got Hakeem coming in at fifth, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So we got
definitely. That's
Hakeem.
good.
Would we factor in? And I know we're making these rules up on the fly. Would we factor in the fact that Duncan won 50 games every season, though? I mean, should that be factored in?
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I do like that stat, but at the same time, we got a king. He's all-star 12 times. You feel me? He getting three-time block champ. Like things like that. It's just can't ignore that.
I think if we're doing titles don't count, I think the next one's got to come in is Jordan at fourth.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll put it this way.
Jordan Poole.
Well, let's just go with this. We'll put him up against Kareem. He's got 32,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists. Kareem's got 38,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, 4,500 or whatever it is. He's got 2,500 steals or whatever. Kareem had the all-time record in blocks. He got over 3,000 blocks. Jordan has 5 MVPs. Kareem's got 6. Jordan's got, I don't think Kareem has a defensive player of the year. Jordan does have a defensive player of the year, though. So I would think, if titles don't count and then finals
Mhm.
MVP count, because one of the biggest arguments for Jordan is 6-0, 6 finals, in biggest state. But none of that matters now.
He's such an offensive terror, though. That's the thing. Even without the rings, because I say, like
So
when
is
Jordan
Kareem.
was,
He's 35 a game at
but
his peak. Kareem was 35 and 17 at his peak.
mhm. I mean, it's almost feeling like their positions in general are a little too low. But then we're still talking about the top four. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, we got LeBron, Wilt, and Kareem left. Who would you have coming in at number three?
Ooh, snap. Now this is gonna be tough because no, actually, I'm gonna put Wilt at number three.
Tell me why.
The reason I'm putting Wilt at number three is when I take away the rings, and even though Wilt has the record for the most points scored in a game, he does not have more points than the two above him. So we don't factor in the rings. They still scored more than he did. So
They did, but you also have to factor in someone like Kareem. Kareem's played 500 more games than him.
don't matter.
Kar- And that's cool. I'm cool with that. We can put Wilt at three. Like I said, I don't really think there's any wrong answers. Okay, so now we're down to Kareem and LeBron. So LeBron's got about 2,000 more points. Well, right now about 1,600 more points than Kareem. Kareem absolutely smokes him in rebounds. He's got 7,000 more rebounds. LeBron kills Kareem in assists with he's got about 6,000 more there. Kareem's got 2 more MVPs. Kareem kills him in blocks. LeBron kills him in steals. Who you got?
This is literally a toss up. Like this is a heads or tails type of question. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put Kareem at number two. So I hate to do it, especially as a Jordan fan, but at the same time, I'm not a hater like that. I love
Mhm.
basketball. So for me, I guess just the talent wise, just the whole package all together, I have to put LeBron at number one. So Kareem would be two. LeBron is number one because LeBron, even though Kareem is all across the board, Kareem was not a shooter.
Yeah,
LeBron, he gonna give it to you from beyond the arc. He gonna give it to you in the lane. LeBron gets his rebounds. He gets steals. So I feel as though LeBron is an all around player. And not to say that Kareem wasn't, but Kareem wasn't a shooter. And I'm not saying LeBron is like one of them high volume shooters, but I'm saying he is a shooter.
no, I'm,
So
I'm
I'm
cool. I'm
going.
cool with that. Like I said, I'm upset we left off Julius Irving. So That 30 10 10, and because everybody was like, oh, he's the only one with this. I was like, well, if you factor in Julius Irving's stats, he's got 30 10 10 and 2 plus 2 and 2, and LeBron don't got it. But yeah, okay, so we got LeBron at number 1 with 40,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds, 4 MVPs, and still going strong. We're rounding up here. Kareem number 2 at 38,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, 3 blocks, 6 MVPs. Wilt at 30,000 points, 20,000 rebounds, 4 MVPs. And just to let you know, they tracked his blocks through 112 games. He averaged 8.8 blocks a game. So,
Get out of here,
so
everybody! Get it out of here.
wait a minute, We got a rebuttal for you about Kareem not being a shooter.
I see. That's Sky. Hey, that's fair enough. The only thing about the sky hook is you can't do the sky hook from beyond the arc. You feel me? Now, if he was hitting that sky hook from the top of the key, that'd be different. But he hitting that sky hook from inside the line. So yeah, he's
Well,
not a
actually,
distance
I was
shooter.
gonna say this on the baseline, especially like the shot that got him the all-time scoring record. He would hit that sky hook from like 18 feet out. It was crazy. It was crazy watching him hit them high. And I believe if he practiced it, because I mean the 3-point line wasn't even introduced till he was in his 11th year in the league.
You
I
think
think
they
he
got
could
it,
hit. I think he could have hit it. I don't obviously I don't
bro?
think it was like 40%, but it wouldn't be a terrible bailout shot.
You know how wild that will be though, with him being like 7 feet. So you already can't block his shot. Then he stepped behind the line, and then on top of that, he goes for the distance like a Dame, and he hits you with that sky hook. I'll probably walk
Right.
off the court. I'll leave.
Um. Oh, they're saying, look. I mean, he's even saying this. Look, people practicing it now. We got Goose Tatum and I can't even read the last name. Consistently made the hook from the half court. So I haven't seen any of them make hooks from the half court. So I'll have to take your word on it. I'll have to look it up. But I haven't seen anybody. But yeah, we
But
got
this is the
Jordan.
but hold on. This is during practice, I'm assuming, all right. This ain't something they're
Right.
doing in the game. It's way different to try that in the game.
Oh, well, definitely. If you ever look at the Gilbert Arenas, Deshaun Stevenson, you can go on YouTube and watch this. The shootout in practice, I think they bet 50K on it, maybe 20, something like that. Gilbert Arenas bet he could make more one-handed threes from the college line than Deshaun Stevenson could from the regular line, just shooting normal. And Gilbert Arenas won the bet.
Yeah, because I
So
promise you, if we went to the court, I could hit a sky hook from half court. It's gonna
how
take
many
some tries, but
attempts?
I can do it. Give me 20.
You shooting 5% from half court threes with the hook shot?
Yeah,
Oh, bro, I don't know about that. I don't
I
know. I
got it.
played a lot of basketball, which I ain't never seen you hit no sky hook from.
But I'll never play serious with you neither. And plus, when it comes to like these horse games and stuff that I be playing, I got some trick shots.
We don't even play horse.
Hmm? Yeah, I
I
mean,
said we
even
don't.
bitch.
We play bitch.
Even
It's
if we
way
playing
better than
bitch.
horse, and it's way funner because at the end of the game, someone's the bitch. It's instead of someone being the horse. But
Hey,
yeah. So we got Jordan coming at fourth at 32,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, 2,500 steals. Really, what elevates Jordan to the fourth spot for me is the 5 MVPs, because if he only had one MVP, he'd be way fucking lower. In sixth, we got Duncan at 26,000 points, 15,000 rebounds, 4,000 assists, 3,000 blocks, 1,000 steals, two-time MVP. Shaq, 28,000 points, 13,000 rebounds, 3,000 blocks. MVP. Kobe, 33,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, 6,000 assists, and an MVP. Moses Malone, 29,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, an MVP, and Bill Russell at 15,000 points, 22,000 rebounds, and 5 MVPs. And I'm telling you, Big Pontiac, man, he's got rebuttals for all your shit tonight. He
let's
said
see.
Globetrotter players, however, look at their games in the 30s and 40s. Dude shot hooks from all positions.
Yeah, but they're Globetrotter players. You feel me? Their whole style of play is
They're the
spectacle.
WWE.
You feel me? Their whole style of play is playing around, hitting trick shots and everything like that. That's what they're designed in. They're
I
not pulling that on. They're
well, I
not
guess
pulling that on NBA.
well, what I was going to say is, I guess it's kind of like watching a UFC fight and then saying, well, the Undertaker choke slams in the ring. Why
Right.
can't they do it? So yeah, that's I'm not saying that they couldn't hit the shot, but in a game where somebody's trying
Yeah,
to
they can hit
stop you, you know what I mean? It's a
it.
different thing.
And let's be real. Like, I think everybody in the NBA could probably realistically hit the shot, but as far as consistently, that's something different entirely. Doing it in the game, that's something different entirely. It ain't good enough to just do it when we're going into halftime. Like, but can that be your regular shot? Whose regular shot can be a hook shot from long distance?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Kareem if he practiced. I mean, that's the only person that I think that would have a chance of doing it. And you never really see Kareem hitting. He had to hit it from the baseline angles. He had to hit it from a certain degree. He couldn't hit. I never saw him hit it straight on. Not to say he didn't, but all of the clips I'm watching him do it in, all the games I've watched him do it in, it's always from left elbow rotate to baseline, right elbow rotate to baseline. We're never going to top of the key. Now I don't know if the angle, the perception's messed up because that's me personally too. I think I shoot a lot better at the angles of the courts than than um than the top and the corners. The baseline, I think the baseline corner I had to really work on that. My percent, I used to always overshoot it, and then the top of the key would be my second strongest one, or the top of the three. But yeah, I shot better at the angles as well. So that's we finally found out what me and Kareem have in common. But let's keep it going. I want to talk about worst retired jerseys of all time.
Oh,
You got
jeez.
any for me?
Let me see. Worst retired jerseys. I would say, actually, go ahead, because I gotta find who I want. Oh, you know what?
Hmm.
We were talking about this guy earlier, and I apologize that I cannot pronounce his name, but we have Dave Tarzik. However you say his
Towards it.
name.
Towards
Tarzik.
it.
It is Tarzik.
Towards it.
Twardzik.
Yeah.
Twardzik. Okay. So Dave Twardzik played for the Blazers from 75 to 80. He
He
was
was
number
on the
13.
championship squad.
He was on the championship squad.
Hmm.
Played 4 seasons with Portland, averaging a good 10 points a game. He averaged less than 3.5 assists a game, but somehow he was ranked one of the top 26 best Blazers of all time.
I think that has to do with the championship team, don't you?
I would
Playing a
hope
pivotal role.
so. I would hope so because 10-3 and you're one of the best, that doesn't say much about your organization.
No, it doesn't. But I think too, I give him a little more of a pass because, like I said, that's a Blazer organization. That's a one title team. That's a, they need some. They don't have what like the Lakers and the Celtics have when you look up in the rafters.
Mhm,
Even the Bulls, you know what I mean, with the six
mhm.
banners, and even Spurs, same thing. So I think maybe they're trying to add some cachet, some history to it. I don't know. Obviously, if the Trailblazers hire me, and we can come in the office, I can answer these questions better. So I am available, and then
Blazers, you hear that?
yeah, yeah, no,
Pick your man
and don't,
resume.
hey, and don't do it like Charles Barkley, where you have me fly out on my own, and then don't pay me my airfare, and then I'm still bitching about it on TV 30 years later. No, I got Jim Lowe's cut off for the Celtics. He averaged 6 and 6 with point 0.7 assists. The reason why too is first off the numbers are terrible. He was like the ninth man on their championship teams. Uh, he was and then especially for a historic franchise, why do you have somebody that's 6 and 6 and point 0.7 up there in the banners with everybody else? So that's the reason why people can't wear 7 for the Celtics now because of him. Because the dude that was getting 6 and point 0.7 assists. So that's
When
one of the
did that?
ones.
Do you know when they retired that jersey by chance?
I don't know when they retired it. He played
Okay.
in the 50. He played in the 50s with them, and in the 60s. So I would guess in the 60s, maybe the 70s. But yeah, I don't get that. Another one is check this out. This guy is a Hall of Famer, Nate Thurman of Warriors fame. A lot of people would know him. This man was dedicated to keeping his hair when there was no reason he should have.
Keeping his hair. Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah, he was dedicated to it. He needed to come on home. He had the cul-de-sac going all the way to the back of his head, and he still kept it. But yeah, he was a beast in Golden State. He was what, like 16 and 16, Hall of Fame player, and now with the Cavs retired his, and I think they retired it based off name because they didn't have a history. With the Cavs, he averaged 5 points a game and 6 rebounds, and they retired his number. You got anybody else? You got anybody else you want to bring up?
um, let's see. You know anything about Lloyd Neal, another Blazers player, in the 70s, 72 to 79?
Yeah, I know Lloyd Neal.
So Yeah, Lloyd Neal only played in 435 games, and only 3 times did he play in more than 70 games in a season.
Right.
But you know,
Well, you want to know the
you
cool
got to
factor about Lloyd Neal though?
what?
So Lloyd Neal, when he played, and he played in the 70s and all that, and that was when you were focused on getting you a 7 foot man, 7 foot big man. He was a 6'7" center. So that is a cool fact about Lloyd Neal.
A 6'7" center.
A 6'7" center, and I believe he was about 220 pounds. So basically, maybe
Man,
225, somewhere
dude,
in there. Basically, he was roughly Scottie Pippen. A little bit, because I think Scotty was reportedly 6'7", 6'8", 230, somewhere in there. So he was a little bit smaller than Scottie Pippen, playing the center position.
and Scotty
So,
looked funny. It's not even like Scotty was brolic. He looked thin. That's crazy.
but Scotty looked crazy cut.
Yeah, he was
Like,
quite cut. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, like Scotty was all muscle. So, to answer your question, yes, he was a skinny Wes Unseld, and it showed because he was not nearly as good. He was not an MVP. He was not Rookie of the Year. He was not the best player on a title team, or arguably, because
That's
it
funny.
could have been Elvin Hayes in '78. But yeah, it could have been that. So, um, yeah, I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe they were just impressed with what he was able to do. What about Brad Davis for the Mavs? He was 8 points and 5 assists in the '80s for the Mavs, retired jersey, with guys like Dirk. Al Attles from the Warriors, he was 9 points, 3.5 assists for the Warriors. I mean, he was on a championship team. Maybe that's why. He also coached them to a title in what was that with Rick Barry's year, '75. What about your boy Tony Allen from Shy? 8.9 points, 1.7 steals for the Grizzlies. They just really needed to throw someone up in the rafters, didn't they?
Wait. I don't recall Tony Allen producing enough for any team for them to want to retire his jersey for that matter. Not to take away from his game, but it's like, was he that great defensively to where his jersey's getting retired? He obviously
Well,
wasn't that great
well, what was that thing
offensively.
he did? He was talking shit one game. He was like 3-time all defensive first. He just kept throwing up the 3-time all defensive first team, or whatever number he made. It was between 3 and 5. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, he kept throwing that up. And what I'm saying is what's crazy but you only averaged 1.7 steals with him. I mean, you weren't even burning it up in that regard. So no, I think Tony Allen is an awesome player to have on a title team. If you're trying to win a title, he's an
Yeah,
awesome rotation
yeah.
player. He is just not a retire the jersey type player.
I
What
mean,
about
well,
go,
now I was just
go
gonna
ahead?
say, I mean, if we can retire his jersey, I mean, BJ jersey needs to be somewhere, in my opinion. Why not add Steve Kerr in it while we at it?
Well, I think John Paxson has a better argument for that, because John Paxson was a starter,
Sure, sure,
you know,
sure. Yeah,
and then
definitely.
he came through in two finals. He came through in '91 and in '93. So I don't know. We have to ask the Bulls organization why they don't do that. We got Dick McGuire from the Knicks. He averaged 8 points and 5 assists. Granted, it's old. Larry Steele from the Blazers, 8 points,
Yeah,
2.8
Larry
assists.
Steele.
Yeah. What about UD? Do you think he just recently had his jersey retired? 7.5 points, 6.6 rebounds.
What was his stats?
7.5 points, 6.6
That's what he
rebounds.
said.
Yeah, but he played 20 years with them. However, though, his last few years were is when he gets the 20 I'm sorry, when he gets the 20-year thing, right?
Mhm.
How many wait, hold on, I just want to make sure I want to get this straight. So from his last 7 years, how many games do you think he played?
Nah. His last 7 years. Please
His
don't
la-
tell me that his last seven. Please don't tell
his,
me this man in 7 years played less than 100 games total.
he played 65 games total his last 7 years.
See,
And
here's the
the year
thing.
wait, hold on. And the year before that, if you would include his last 8, is when he started becoming a bit player. He played 92 games overall. No, I'm sorry, 102 games overall over his last 8 years.
Mhm.
With a high of 11 minutes a game and 4 appearances in 1920. 11
Wow.
minutes was his high. So really, he had about a 12-year run with them. I mean, obviously they stretch it out, but that was my biggest thing about UD having his retire like 20 years with us. Yeah, but you didn't really play. You didn't really play in 40% of
20,
those years.
That's crazy. 20 years with us, but you only hoop for 12. Hey, I
Oh,
guess they
here's a
gave
good
that
one.
a work.
I completely forgot about because they recently Nick Collison was another one. They recently retired in the Thunder. Another bit player that just stayed around for years.
The
Didn't really
goat?
play. The
At
goat
what?
of being bad players to have their jersey retired. I
Oh,
don't
yeah, okay, okay. I was like, what do you do?
He was the goat of
Yeah,
Knicks.
yeah.
You got anybody else? And then I'm going to tell you the all-time worst retired jersey, and it's
Nah,
going to be
go ahead. Who
stunning
the,
when it's Michael
nah, I'm waiting.
Michael Jordan is the all-time worst retired jersey by far, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, does it sound nuts that I'm saying that?
Hmm.
Okay, well, here's why Jordan is the all-time worst retired jersey. The Miami Heat retired Jordan's jersey. So
You're
we have a
dumb.
guy.
You're dumb. So you're mad that other teams want to retire his number, or just the fact that
So for the Heat, Michael Jordan averaged 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, 0 steals, 0 blocks. Not only that,
hey, hold up, he hit them with aerial movement.
yeah, he hit him with aerial movement. Oh, that's another thing. He swept them 2 times in the first round. He beat them in the conference finals, which might have been their best shot to win a title in the 90s in five. He was 10-1. Wait a minute. It
Your
gets even
argument is
better.
not fair. I'm gonna tell you why your argument is fair.
Hold on. It gets better. It gets fucking better. It gets so much better. The jersey that's retired in the Heat is half Bulls, half Wizards.
Okay, all right. In fairness, if you're gonna retire Jordan's jersey,
That's
I
right.
mean, I guess it don't matter which jersey it is, but I mean, let's be real. He's historic for the Bulls. I mean, the Wizards, whatever. Now, as far as the Heat, though, the way I look at it is this: if somebody come into your crib and make it their own, you gotta respect it. So you feel me? Yeah, him going in a crib and just planting up, putting his feet up like, yeah, I'm go ahead and take these, 10 victories from you here. While you at it, go ahead and take these buckets. You feel me? Doing all of that. I mean, I could see them retiring in Jersey. He was spanking them.
So let's go with this. Let's just go with this. So should the Raptors then retire LeBron's jersey?
Sure.
That's dumb as hell. That is one of the dumbest things ever. Why would you retire somebody like you said? You wouldn't even wear championship rings of the people that beat the teams you liked. But you're gonna retire the jersey? That is
nah,
one of the dumb.
it's just funny to me, like the idea of it. What I'm more so saying is a person can come in and take over your house. It sucks when it happens, but they can do it. And it's like when they do that, do you still call it your house? You feel me? It's kind of like the argument. This ain't sports, but it's kind of like the argument like with an Eminem. If you come into the rap industry and you're better than them, can we not call you to go? So it's like Jordan went there.
You
But
can call
to
me the
your point
goat,
though,
but that'd be like, hold on, let's just make this up. Let's say Eminem is a better rapper than name somebody that's really. We'll just say Lil Wayne, just for the sake
no,
of argument, okay?
okay,
Just for the
okay.
sake of argument, whether you feel that way or not, it doesn't matter. That'd be like Lil Wayne hanging up Eminem records, decorating his house.
But I wouldn't put it past Lil Wayne to do that, to be honest, or anybody else that's in the industry. So, with that, I wouldn't put it past that their mutual respect when somebody been blazing you for so long. But to your point though, I personally don't feel as though jerseys should be retired on teams that players didn't play for. I feel like that's kind of ridiculous. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's funny as all hell, but
Because if
I
that's the
don't.
case,
I
the
don't see
Cavs should retire Jordan's jersey too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
The
funny and I'm
Knicks.
joking, but I don't think that that's a good idea. You feel me? I don't think if they didn't play for your team, why are you retiring their jersey?
Exactly. That's what I mean. I would never. That's like when they retired the Bill Russell jersey across the league or whatever the number. If I was the Lakers, I said I ain't respect. I'll pay whatever fine. I'm not doing that shit. This dude stopped us from so many. I'm not doing that shit. Our main rival. Fuck that. I'm not doing that.
And you know what? On that, it should be either or, in my opinion. Like if you're gonna retire a jersey, it either needs to be for the specific team that they played for, or retire it for the whole league. But then we run out of numbers that way. So yeah.
Well, hey, on a side note, what do you think? And to everybody watching too, I'd like to know what you guys think. What do the Celtics do when they're out of numbers? Because eventually that's going to keep happening. At some point, 100 years, 200, whatever the years is, it's
They're
going to
gonna have
happen
to
at
add.
some point.
They're gonna have to add zeros. I've been seeing it. I've been seeing double zeros, so they're gonna have to add. Person gonna have to be 01, 03. It's gonna get quite difficult when we get into the double digits.
That's what I
Somebody
mean.
gonna
What are
be
we going to do?
number 100.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
Um,
Just have two people wear it?
but you know what? That is a fascinating question because realistically speaking, with them being such a dynasty team, and then they're constantly growing because they keep adding players that are dope to their legacy. So it's crazy because the Celtics, realistically, there's probably a bunch of jerseys that they would have to retire if they start going through their best and their great players.
Deanna, what are you talking about? I think heats. I don't know what that means. You'll have to expand upon that. Go ahead.
No, I mean I was pretty much done. I was just saying that with them
Hey,
having as many.
your boy Big Pontiac got an idea. Just start throwing letters on them. 12A.
Hey, 12 day like an apartment. That'll work though. See, that's dope. We got some ideas here.
Now we do. Let's pivot from this. These ridiculous these ridiculous topics we get on.
Lateral
Uh,
movement.
lateral movement. You got to hit them with the lateral movement. I want to know. I want to know who's since we were talking about numbers and all that, and kind of the current climate of the league and stuff like that, especially with all the expand. Who Yo, we got another do fractions. So now we just go half, point 0.5, point 0.7. I mean, we
What's
got
your
all
number? 0.9. What's up?
0.09. They already had 0.9 retired. So I just I moved it over 1 decibel. Um,
The decimal league. All right, my
it's
bad.
it's well, they're all about the D in the league, the decimal. So I want to know who is the best. We talked about this now, how we think there's an argument for the 5 best foreign players, right? The 5 best players in the league right now are foreign born. Who do
Mhm,
you think the
mhm.
best foreign player is of all time?
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay,
There you go, Nick. If you play, I want that to be your jersey.
that one. All
Yeah.
right, for sure. I'll get that number. I'll work on that. Now, this one, the best foreign player of all time.
I think it only
See,
comes down to 4 people.
I was about to say I don't know that I had a number one best, but if I was to say who my best, in my opinion, are, it would be Giannis, Akeem. Um, you're gonna trip when I say this, but Luca, even though he's young, Luca eventually is gonna be one of the best, in my opinion.
Not now. No
Um,
fucking way. Absolutely not.
ever? You
Like,
don't think he will be?
no, not never. Right now.
Oh,
Like, I'll put
right
it
now,
straight.
right now.
Right. Let's just put his career up against Giannis's.
Hmm.
Right now, how can you compare? He's less in everything and all
Yeah.
statistics.
No, no, no.
No
I
MVPs, no
said
defense, no ring. Yeah, yeah, we're talking about, but I'm talking about right now. If you had to
right now,
say
right now.
who's,
Okay.
yeah,
So right now, we got Giannis, Joker, Hakeem, and Dirk.
Dirk, that's to me it. That's it. Those are the only 4 guys that. Who do you think is the best out of them?
Out of them,
Out of their career, I guess. Who's got the best career out of them 4?
I don't know. Four. It comes down to two for me. It comes down to Hakeem and Giannis for me. And if I was going Hakeem or Giannis, it's probably Hakeem. I mean,
Well, hold
Giannis
on.
is still.
Well, right. I was going to say this. I have to cut out Jokic and Giannis right now because they are. Duncan and Ewing are considered. First off, Ewing doesn't compare to the top 4 because he's not an MVP. He's not a champion. So Ewing is out. Duncan, I don't consider him a foreign because he is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So he is a U.S. citizen. When he was born, he came out with a social security card. He doesn't have to apply for a visa. He's free to move anywhere. He's free to move to Guam, the USA, or anything like that. So that is why Duncan is considered a U.S. citizen. Yeah, to me right now, because Giannis and uh, Joker aren't done yet, I
Done.
cut
Yeah,
those 2
that's
off.
fair.
So to
That's
me,
fair.
it's Dirk or Hakeem. And I got to go with Hakeem
Hakeem.
over Dirk
Yeah.
because we got 2 MVPs. We got a defensive player of the year. We got from the years that Jordan was retired. Hakeem was the best player in the league. Dirk was never considered the best player in the league. So that's where I would go with that. I do have a question for you on this though.
Mm,
Um, and you can only pick out these two. Let's go with Jokic and Hakeem. Hakeem has 2 titles, 1 MVP. Joker has 2 MVPs, 1 title. What would you rather have?
2 titles, 1 MVP.
Why?
The reason I would rather have 2 titles is because that's 2 times that my team made it to the finals and was able. Was that a cough or a sneeze?
Cough.
Okay. That would be 2 times that my team was probably the best team in the league. I mean, there's a possibility of a fluke, but winners walk away feeling they deserved it. So I'm gonna go with that. So that would mean twice my team was the best team in the league. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being the best player in the league once if my team is the best twice.
Yeah, I would be too because if well, one, winnings what's matter. I'm gonna wear my rings more than I'm gonna take out my MVP trophies. Hey, if you won the MVP, would you roll around with your MVP trophy where you go?
Only the Chick-fil-A.
Well, where would you take it on Sundays?
uh, Nowhere. Giannis's house.
So yeah, I got Hakeem right now. If you had to pick out of Giannis or Jokic right now, who's had the better career, who would you go with?
Ooh. Okay. 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 The better career. That's very difficult for me. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna go with Giannis. The reason I'm gonna go with Giannis is because we seen more development out of Giannis, I feel, than we did with Joker. I feel like Joker came in just blazing for the most part. Whereas Giannis, he comes in and he has to show you, I've improved. You feel me? And then after he improved, he's showing you that I'm a very defensive player. Then he's showing you you also can't defend me. Not that you can defend Jokic, but at the same time, I feel as though for me personally, I feel like Giannis has the. But then again, Joker has 2 MVPs. I'll take that back. I prefer Giannis. Joker probably has the better career though. When
See,
I
I
think
think,
about
I
it,
mean, the only thing I think Jokic right now has the better career in is in triple doubles. Giannis clears him in all stats because he came in 2 years prior to him. No, he came in 1 year prior to him, playing more all those years. He also has a defensive player over Jokic. He has more All NBAs.
Mhm.
He has more All Star appearances. So to me, right now, it's got to be Giannis over that.
That's
Um,
fine. I
but
mean, that was my first thought anyway, but that's fine.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean, even if you think it is, I understand why you think it is. But to me, it's just Giannis is a little bit older, so he has the longevity argument, not by much, but he was just in the league, before he was. So ultimately, who do you think is going to finish with a better career? Who do you think is going to have more titles, Giannis or Jokic?
Jokic. Oh, whoa, no, 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 hold on. They both only got one right now. Do I see either one of them winning again? I think Jokic has a better shot at winning again than Giannis.
I think Jokic plays the game such from a head up. He plays the game from shoulders up. Giannis really plays the game from shoulders down. I think Giannis's competitive spirit is refreshing. I like, he wants to
Very,
win. He wants to
very.
win. He's not taking it off. He wants to win. So yeah, I like that. I like that dedication and all that. Speaking of dedication, I want to flip to a person that's not dedicated. I want to talk about Anthony Randolph. For those that don't know who Anthony Randolph was, he was drafted in 2008. He's one of the most talented players I've ever seen. If you ask around the league and people that have watched him, they will all say about his talent level. I kind of want to give you like maybe oh, it didn't even load. Well, what do you know? I had a video clip highlight of him. I want to show you some moves of him and all that. But just in his draft, okay, they go through 1 through 10, and this is a basic way to think of it. 1 to 2 is an F, 3 to 4 is a D, 5 to 6 is a C, 7 and 8 is a B, 9, 10 is an A. We understand? We're all good. We're all caught up. Cool. So his draft rating was he was an 8 athlete, so that's a B plus. Size was a 10, A plus. His D was an 8, B plus. Strength was 7. Quickness was a 9. Leadership was a 7. Jump shot was a 7. Readiness was a 7. Handles was an 8. Potential was a 10. Passing was a 7. Intangibles were a 7. So would you say the man has any weakness?
Nah, that's a baller.
Right. His career average in the NBA was 7 points, zero point 0.9 blocks, zero point 0.6 steals, zero point 0.7 assists, and 4 rebounds.
Well,
The
hold on.
man,
What's his high? What's his high? Was it like 17 or something?
um, 1 year he averaged 11.6. His career high in
Dang.
points. Well, his career high in points were 31 a game, 31 points. He got a 31-point game, 8 block game, 4 steal game, 15 assists game, and 16 rebound game. He was traded 4 times in 4 years.
15 rebounds? Is that what you said?
16 rebounds.
Dang.
15 assists. Traded 4 times in 4 years. Some of the problems with him were he was selfish, he was young, he was immature, he was ill prepared. He was also, speaking which, a teammate of Luca overseas. He was averaging 25 per 40 minutes a game. He was shooting 88.9% from three. He had 30 pounds of muscle. He was 6'11. He was a left-handed player. He was 6'11 with a 7'3" wingspan. He had a standing reach of 9 feet 2 inches. He was inconsistent on the court. He lacked court awareness. He'd float in and out of games. He said he could come back, but he won't come back just to be back in the NBA. He won't go back just to be back in the NBA. I'm gonna ask you this. If he had all that talent and he put it together and he came out in 08, 09, that means that he would have been the power forward slash center for he reached his potential and he had the mental focus to do it. That means he would have been on
Warriors.
dynasty Warriors team. How many titles do you think they would have won with a guy that was uber talented in the front court, could hit threes, left-handed, take the ball off the dribble. He could post up, he could slash, cut, defend. Where do you think they would have been with that type of player if he put it
Six
all
or
together?
seven. 6 or 7. I think he would have gave Steph the help that he needed when Clay and KD went down against Toronto. So I feel as though they would have, that would have been that push that they needed to get over that hump. Also, he probably could have helped them against Cleveland, that series
Hmm.
that they won against the Warriors too. So I'd say probably about 6.
Do you think they would still be there right now? What are they? They're about 500. They're in what, 10th place? Where would you have them if they had that guy still playing at a high
I don't
level?
at a high level, I don't think they drop out of because the Warriors already, even right now, still have potential to come back and make it realistically probably into like the 8th seed. I feel as though with Randolph, if he was playing at a high level, I don't think they drop lower than the 5th seed. So I'd say they'd be in the top 4.
Would they have a chance to win the title this year if they had something like that?
Their face just popped up. Would they have a chance? Yeah, they would. I don't count them out now. I know it's very difficult looking at them, but they do have that pedigree, so I don't count them out now. You never can with them.
So right now, you think they still have a chance to win the title this year?
Depends on who they go up against in the playoffs. Yeah, it could happen because some of them bigger teams, some of them better teams in the West might take each other out and make the road to the championship easier. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're done. I think they're cooked. I think they need an inside presence. I think they need right
They
now
need
they
an
have
inside.
I think right now they need somebody other than Steph that can go get a bucket, and they don't have that anymore. They used to have Clay that could get a bucket. Who is their next best option right now other than Steph?
Posen- I can't even say his name.
Kaminga?
No, well, Kaminga, yes, yes, Kaminga. But I was gonna say like because I'm worried that they may get rid of Kaminga. I'm looking at the team might get passed on to Brandon actually, but it should be Kaminga though. But the rookie is showing that he kind of NBA ready
What would you do with Wiggins?
this season.
Yeah, yeah. Would you move him? I mean, would you try to get him more shots? Is he just not that guy? Could
The
he get you a
problem with
consistent 20 to be a second guy?
the problem with Wiggins to me is he doesn't seem like he wants to be aggressive offensively. So it's like with Wiggins, it seems like it's a mental thing. So until
That's Anthony
he can,
Randolph
right.
to the
So
18th degree.
right, and you see what happens. So it's like when players can't get out of their own head mentally, you might need to move them. That might be what they need. Like, you feel me? I don't want Clay to leave, but I think if Clay left, I think he'd get back to being that all-star. So with Wiggins, right now, I think if Wiggins were to get moved, he might play more aggressively.
Anthony Randolph was also on the Timberwolves. Like I said, if he put it all together, who do you think he could help out more right now, the Warriors or the Timberwolves? And out of those two teams, like I said, if all his talent, he had the mental
Mm,
focus, who do you think would be a better team right now? Add Anthony Randolph, a guy that's doing everything, or add him to the Timberwolves. Who would you think he would help out more?
who he would help out more?
Hey, well, let me ask you that. Well, before you think about that, let me just show you a little highlight clip of him.
Randolph. Reverse dunk. Anthony Randolph. Just 2 months. Randolph. Randolph. Right in Yal's face. That's got to be a technical foul. Cross court with Randolph with some nifty moves. Then the pass out to Flynn for three. Rookie of the year, Randolph, with a slam dunk. Randolph again.
Now here we go, end to end.
Hurts to Randolph.
You got to remember that's
Hmm.
There's 6'11" doing that.
I think he'd help out, honestly. He'd help out both of them tremendously, but I think slight edge for the Warriors. The reason I feel as though he might help them a little bit more is because the Warriors really, I mean, other than I mean, Kaminga's pretty big, and um well, I can't think of my man's name, the center. But other than that, they don't have any large presence. They don't have any big men that are really consistent. And with
But he was
him being a bigger,
and he
hmm,
also with his ability to break you down off the dribble, his ability to bring the ball up the court, his ability,
it,
as we saw, to penetrate, kick, and dish, to draw a
it
double on the
replaces,
dish.
yeah, that replaces KD. The fact that he can dribble, the fact that he has the length that he does, and then he's more
Lefty too.
physical. Right, lefty is harder to guard, so he's tall and he's harder to guard. So I feel as though that would have been like, I mean, it wouldn't be the replacement of KD as in he's a shooter like KD, but it would be the replacement as in somebody that's a large presence, somebody that can get you buckets, somebody that can help you out defensively, things like
Do you think the
that. So
Warriors are missing more shooting right now? I think they're missing more
um,
playmaking,
I think they're missing more shot. Yeah, exactly. More shooting, not necessarily more shooting, but
shot
they don't,
creating.
right. They don't have the players that are good other than Steph, really. They don't really have playmakers like that. Chris Paul, but he hurt.
No, I feel you on that. Well, we're gonna end it on that. So that's what we had for tonight. We will check y'all out tomorrow, where we will talk about current NBA as it kind of bled into this one. So until then, we are dropping dimes like Dare. Stay up, y'all, and we out.